There's a lot of excitement in Florida. They've got beaches, Disney World, and Miami. Plus, there's probably some meth head running from the police this very minute in your county. So Florida can keep you entertained if you're in the right place. However, today we're going to talk about places in the Sunshine State that are certainly not fun, nor are they exciting. How did we come to these conclusions? Well, we measured the places in Florida with the oldest population where people are married and have kids, because married people are really boring. Try to stay awake as we go through the most boring places in Florida. Grab your rocker and hold on, Indian River Shores residents, because we picked you as the 10th most boring place in Florida. Why? A few reasons. This affluent town on the edge of the Atlantic is totally boring when you look at the data. It's the absolute oldest place in the state, where the average age is 71, and the number of elderly people is just about 90%. Boring. To put that into perspective, in Florida City, the average age is 23, and only 1 in 5 residents is married. New Smyrna Beach actually has a bit of a younger population, but the average age is still well above 50, and nearly 6 in 10 people here are married. The only thing to really do is drink, play golf, or sit on the beach here. If you're a professional drinker, there's plenty of bar stools, but this is the unofficial shark bite capital of the world. So dull, boring beach days can all of a sudden get really fun. Our next stop on our snooze fest in Florida stops in Palm Beach. Can you imagine being a kid growing up in Palm Beach? Only 6% of households has kids, and the average age of residents here is 70. Palm Beach is pretty much one big nursing home. However, on the bright side, look at all the strip clubs in the Palm Beach area. So if you're into watching old men slobber on young women, then Palm Beach would be fabulous. Try not to jump out of your seats, Venice residents. You just might fall and break your hip. The average age in Venice is 67, and 3 out of 4 people are over the age of 70. Does that make a city boring? Not necessarily, especially in the winter months when you get to watch people backing into one another in the CVS parking lot. If your biggest concern is getting to Perkins for the 5 a.m. early bird special, then Venice is for you. Naples, Florida has a lot to do when it comes to dining and shopping, I guess, and crime is low and it's kind of clean. But for some real excitement in Naples, it would be driving the golf cart around, playing bocce balls, or another day at the pool with the grandkids. That is, if they're not staring at their phone. The average Naples resident is 64, and 2 in 3 people here are married. In contrast, in much more exciting places like Orlando, the average age is 32 and only 1 in 3 people are married. Now that sounds like fun. This video is brought to you by Kinder, the Playdate app for your grandkids. Hey Florida residents, want to find a playdate for your grandson but don't know whose grandkids are in town for the holidays? Or whose grandkids you can trust? With Kinder, you can search for kids in your area and sort by reviews from other grandparents. That way you can find grandkids that your grandkids can play with stress-free. Try Kinder, the playdating app. No brats, no fuss. Continuing our boring tour of Florida, we come to Marco Island, which ranks as the 13th oldest place in Florida. 72% of the population is over 65 and 68% are married. What a bore. Stay off the roads in the morning in Marco Island because that's when most of the population is out and about. But right after sunset, the roads are all yours. Boring. Our next boring stop in Florida brings us to Longboat Key, the 2nd oldest place in the state. When Steinmart's the happening place to be in your community, then that means it must be oodles of fun. The average age here is about 71 years old. 87% of the residents are over 65, and only 300 people in the entire key are under the age of 35. That's just about as snooze fest as it can possibly get, even for Florida. If you're craving some excitement, then stay away from Punta Gorda. In fact, it might not be much of a surprise that most of the cities on this list are on the left coast of the state. This mostly gated community just north of Cape Coral is in the top 10 in 2 categories, average age and number of married households. It also has the 12th least number of people under the age of 35. That means Punta Gorda has more old married people than just about anywhere else in Florida. And there's not too many people around here who might want to mix it up from time to time before their time in the sun sets. Right off of I-75, Wildwood could be considered an Orlando suburb, but it's too far away to really make Orlando a destination. It's landlocked, and outside of a few chain restaurants, there's nothing to keep people here occupied. Plus, 65% of residents are over the age of 65. Take a look at the City of Wildwood's event calendar this month. Looks like for the entire month of September, there's only 1 Zumba class for the entire city to do. And where's the most boring place in Florida? That would be Sanibel, hands down. This sleepy place is on an island outside of Cape Coral, but trust us, living on an island like this is nothing to be desired. A whopping 78% of residents are elderly, more than 7 in 10 people are married, and the average age is 66. The most fun might be shuffleboard or a card game here or there. Boring. If you live in Sanibel or any of the other Florida cities we mentioned, you must be dying of boredom by now. And if you don't live in any of these cities, then congratulations. Now go find something fun to do.